Alright guys, I think we're live. That's right. Let me know guys if you can see it well, if everything is working fine. I had some issues, but I think now it should be alright. Hopefully it works now. Alright, you cannot hear me now. Perfect. But I think it's working now. Let me get the chat as well. Alright. I should be switching soon. So you guys can see 3 tables. Everything is crashing. Guess it looks fine. Bit worried because I said I had a heating problem and it seems to be going up now, even though it was fine the second. So I'm just want to see if it has something to do with booting up the stream and everything, or if it just can't handle it anymore. So I will start in a second talking and everything. The current bitrate of the stream is lower than recommended. Yeah, let me know guys if the stream is fine. Let me know. I think I'm live now. Just the question is, what's the quality looking like? Can you guys hear me well? All of that. Let me listen in myself. Alright guys, I think it's working now. So looks fine. Perfect. Alright. Okay, then let's get into some action. It looks like you can see a yellow or a white line at the bottom, but I guess for now we'll leave it and I'll fix it the next time. Something to do with the layout, I guess, the tables. Not sure if I can fix this now while I'm streaming or if it's gonna mess everything up. I guess this should fix it. No delay? There should be a delay. Again. There should be a delay. Settings, if I go to settings here, it says the stream delay enabled. Do you guys see the delay? Or is it live for you? No, it should be, there's a delay, right? Yeah, it was fine. There's a delay because there's only 3 tables now. Maybe not on YouTube, but even on YouTube I think there's a delay, right? Okay, it's delayed. Thought you answered mine right away. Okay, yeah, both streams might be more taxing on your computer. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, I'll have to check out if that's something my PC can't handle, or if there's something wrong with the settings with my the fans or something. Okay. Warning. What is this one? The current bitrate on YouTube. Yeah, YouTube doesn't seem to work that well on YouTube, but okay. Let's get into some poker. Low bitrate should be fine for poker. Okay. Yeah, also the chat with the background, but we'll fix it for the next one. Okay, let's actually get into some action. Here everybody's leaving, even though I'm heads up with the fish. Why is everybody leaving? On table 4. And then we have 3 more fish on table two there, two more fish or three more on this other one, so, and one more here. Just cold call my 3-bet. So for everybody might not know, normally I play 200 and 500, but it's just a mess to do this on stream. There's a lot of table opening, reopening, trying to find the right table. So I think on 100, or hopefully on 100 NL, it will be a bit more stable. So yeah, it is hopefully a bit better that way. Also, I can focus on the chat and focus more on explaining instead of really tuning in. It's a bit hard. I realized when I was streaming like 200 to really pay attention, and I feel like I was playing a bit worse. So that's why now I am just gonna stream 100. Switching chat back to black, and also check if I include YouTube chat in there. Yeah, that would be amazing. So table 4 is an interesting one, where my mouse is also now about to die. So this guy pots it and then seems to play really aggressive. So with the 9-8, I'm just gonna check call, hope we giving a chance. And with the ace king, we are all in on table number 2 against ace 5, and hopefully we can hold, and we chop. Sorry, so this guy pots, will just be calling, and plan to keep calling down. He checks. We just check back, and we hit the flush, hoping for him to do something silly. The 9-7 against such a small tree, but I would be calling. And we flop a flush draw. Gonna go small here, trying to induce something. I think very often he's just gonna have nothing. But maybe this way he's fine in the bluff check raise, but he's not. This is interesting when he checks to me on this board. I don't mind going for a stab right away here with the 9-7. Think he's not gonna have enough check calls after he once we bet. You could also just check back, because we really want to see all cards with this one. We don't want to get check raised and then jammed on the turn. Very small check raise. We definitely have an easy call here on table 1. Let me see if the table 1, there we go. Hoping not to see a jam, but shouldn't be that likely. No reads on this guy. Just assume he's fairly strong when he check raises there. And yeah, we just call now. Really no point in jamming. And basically hope we get there by the river. And if he checks, we have an easy all in. That's pretty much the nuts at this point now. And yeah, with a SPR less than half pot behind, with the easiest jam in our life. And we get snap called by queen. So yeah, kind of to be expected when people check raise this flop. But well, we take it. I didn't even think about folding. I think he could think about folding. Like, it's really hard for me to have any bluff to end. I'm not jamming worse for value. Let's switch over to table 2 here. I'll just check call my aces on this board. Could also check raise, but without a diamond, actually I want to do less check raising here. My hand is gonna be not that good on many runouts, so we'll just call, zoom out, because we have 3 hands against the same guy. Horrible runout, where I think we just have to fold now if he goes for triple barrel. Don't think we have many other options there, and we lose the minimum against 7, so that's fine. King queen, I will check back. The ace 9, I'll also just check on the river. YouTube chat will be included next stream. Can't do it through Streamlabs. Alright, no worries. Don't think there will be many anyway. King Queen, I'll just check back again. The Ace 9 we won, that's great. We won against King Jack. Seems like a fine hand to give up. And interesting to see a double check. Expect queens, jacks a lot, tens a lot, maybe some King X himself will obviously be calling. If he checks us here on table 3, it gets interesting. Whether we want to value bet this or not. I think we can, to be honest. Go for a half pot bet here. Ah, shit. Our kicker doesn't play. Never mind. That's what I meant with while you play on stream. So I guess this is bad when our kicker doesn't play anymore. Well, maybe not. Maybe not, because he still finds a call with queens. Table 1, we 3-bet. We got a cold call from this guy behind. And a dong for half pot, a call. Don't think there's many 7x. And I think multi-way, we just wanna fast play this, get it in. Seems good, 50% raise. Don't think they're folding a Jack X. Very likely they just get it in with a flush draw as well. 6 of hearts, one time dealer. Yeah. But we just take it down, which is fine too. How do we have 200 big blinds here? What happened? I didn't even know. I don't even know, guys.
This one.
Ace king here, we get cold 4-bet. The king queen we fold. This guy's been clicking buttons a lot. We just get it in for 100 bigs here. And here's ace 10. Beautiful. Sorry guys, I'll remove this so you can see the sweat, and we hold. Wonderful. Yeah, let me upgrade this guy to a mega whale. And we take it. We take it. The min 5-bet get in. You love to see it. Let me connect my... Is the stream run good, guys? Starting with a small bet here against the recreational. And we get check raised, easy fold. Perfect. All right. Okay, time to focus now. Time to focus. Everything should be more or less set up. Stream looks fine. Everything else looks fine. On table 4, we will call with pocket tens, facing a 3-bet from an unknown recreational. Ah, yes, the 9-7 suited, now I remember. And we get a horrible board. We get a check on a board where he shouldn't really check. We're not really doing anything fancy. I mean, our hand is always a check back. We're not really calling if he starts betting now, unless he goes like super small. But yeah, he goes larger than half pot. We have a very easy fold with tens here. Recreationals like to trap a lot in this pot out of position in 3-bet pots, and so our main goal is to check back and just realize our equity more than we should. You know, sometimes we're gonna hit a set, sometimes we're gonna turn a straight draw, flush draw, whatever. Here I opened guy pots out being that short, although this could definitely be a bluff. I mean, with our hand, nothing really to be done about this. Nothing really to be done about this. Yeah, this ace 9 against ace 3, I mean, seems fine. Let's zoom back out. See, I might add another 5th table, but I think for now I'm already struggling. Hit those couple tables here. Zooming in, zooming out is working. Has been clicking up. And YouTube and Twitch is working perfect. So if you have any questions about any of the plays, let me know in chat. More than happy to talk about them, and I'll now try to explain my thought process as best as I can. Let me know what you think of this new update on PokerStars for anyone playing on PokerStars. I still have to get used to it, all this glowing thing. It's a bit confusing, personally. So we have a couple of interesting hands here. Go for a range bet here with 3-bet. Gonna start with a half pot bet here because we made it a bit larger pre. I think that's gonna be big enough, although we could also size up here. I think half pot will do fine. King queen I will call. Other one I will continue betting. Gonna still call one with the 2 overs facing the min raise. Not loving it obviously, but I think we still just have to call, given the pot odds that we get. And now in the turn we unfortunately have to fold, although he will be over bluffing this, hoping for a check back so we can realize our equity. And the king queen without the backdoor I will just call. And unfortunately he just rips it in on the turn. Nothing really we can do, we just have to fold. King queen is interesting if he bets again on the turn. It's really hard for him to have enough bluffs here. And the 10-9 when I get 4-bet in these positions, even though this hand is maybe mixed in theory, especially to this large sizing, we have just an easy fold. Yeah, and I think the king queen I'm also already folding on the turn. My outs are not always the best. Like if I hit a king, I'm not that happy. And it's really hard for him to bluff. Like he needs to bluff jack 10, he needs to bluff pocket jacks. I don't think he's folding that. And he has a lot of value hands. And I can go for this line. And I think at best my hand is break even. So I don't mind just going for a fold right away on the turn. And then with the jack 10, if we know that he's super over bluffing, we could also, let me bring up that hand. If we go over, right, I mean I have some reads that his station even with draws. So yeah, if we go to table 5 here, sorry, table 6, the replayer. So with 3-bet, which I think is fine. And I think c-betting is fine. We could go check call, but I think c-bet is fine. He min raises. I think we have a call. Here the only decision we have is potentially 3-bet shove. If we think he is like folding, if we 3-bet shove. But the problem is he can call us with flush draws. So here we just jam most of my value hands that need a lot of protection. But yeah, I think a hand like this, you just call. You get enough like on a jack and a 10. I'm stacking off obviously 9 is nuts even when the flush comes in, and then yeah, that's pretty much gonna be the play. And yeah, on the turn he jams, so we just have to fold. Right, let's go back to the overview. 6s here facing a squeeze with a recreational behind. Definitely close, but I think we can get in there. Recreation unfortunately folds. He goes for flat 40%. I will call. And facing a double barrel 6s just has to fold. Not much we can do here, unfortunately. 34% on the flop. I think we just had to call it now. Yeah, it's just a fold. Table 1, I'm squeezing. We find a 4-bet. Just gonna fold here. Maybe in theory this is sometimes mixing. I don't think it's ever 5-bet jamming when you squeeze and then get 4-bet. So yeah, we're just out of there. Could also call with the recreational, just see a flop, but I don't mind. I prefer the aggressive action. And now on table 4, we're just gonna be all in with that much dead money in the middle. Ace king, I don't think we want to do much else. A lot of nice hands now. First guy folds, you get a call from Jack 9. Jesus Christ. Can we hold, guys, please? One time. Let's fucking go. What is going on today? Maybe I should just move down to 100 and collect the free money that they, instead of trying to battle with these just pure X on 200 and 500. What is going on? I mean, this guy, like if this guy would have went open shove, I would have probably called king 10 with this guy behind. I think you just have to fold. Like this guy's not gonna fold anything now, knowing how tilted this guy is. Like, like this guy has any 2 here. Yeah, wow, and he even got there. Yeah, so the problem is like with king 10, right? We lose to his range. Obviously, this guy is just clicking buttons, but important to take note of that. Got 2 donations, ace king against ace 10 and ace king against jack 9 suited. This is interesting now on table 4 with the dynamic. I don't want to 3-bet fold this. I don't want to 3-bet call it, so I think I'm just gonna overcall, trying to see a flop. And basically stacking post flop. If I had a stronger hand like ace jack offsuit, I'd probably 3-bet get it in. Yeah, like obviously this guy is just tilting, but nothing we can do here. Interesting spot here. Gonna start with a small bet. And on the turn, we'll go for the check. Definitely calling 1. Happy to see half pot bet. Against the recreation, I probably even have to call 2, although it's not my favorite spot here. Especially when the flush comes in. But I think I still have to call this. 6-5 still misses, 6s5 misses, 7-6 can bluff there. King queen, king jack that he could potentially turn. If he goes all in against half pot, definitely calling. Against an all in, we're not that happy, to be honest. But yeah, against a half pot or whatever this sizing is, bit larger than half pot. But the same sizing that he used on the turn, we'll just have a call. And hoping for the best. His line will be over bluffed, but this time he does have ace jack. Here against the crazy guy, we're just waiting for him to donate the money. Of course, if he has a jack, he gets our money. We're just gonna press call and get it in on the turn. So hopefully he just has a weaker ace, not a jack. He has 10-8, complete air, and yeah, we get another half stack from him. I mean, this guy, obviously we knew he was just spewing, so we're just waiting. Perfect opportunity there. Here we check for on the flop multi-way. We could bet, but don't mind checking here. And I think now we go for the bets. And just 75 twice. Yeah, I think it's going to be a play here. Expect a lot of folds from the button once he checked back, but hey. And also a fold, but yeah, we'll bluff this a decent amount. Three bet here, starting with a small c bet. Could also use larger bets here. Could start with a check too, but I think against the recreation I like to the c bet small and then check call twice line. Although it's not the greatest on this board. So maybe if he goes bet then jam, we might fold, but we definitely call one. This guy is quite loose pre-flop. But if he jams now, I might just fold this. Yeah, we really split against ace-5. That's actually a good outcome. Because this line is overbluff, but in this board it's quite tough to bluff enough, I believe. And he might not even be a reg. Like he uses good sizings, but something in between, I guess. We get the aces now. No action though, unfortunately. Table 1, board where I'm going to check back at a high frequency. Ace-5, I think is just going to be a pure check back. 8-5 against 3x is actually quite close, but it's a recreational, so we will stick around. On the turn, same reason, just going to check back the ace-5 there. And the 8-5 I will call against the big bet on the flop. And then probably fold on this turn facing another barrel. I'm going to call my 10x. I'm going to have some king x. I'm going to have some draws that should be better. And he did use a big sizing on the flop, so I'm not too happy about that. And then once he checks, we just check. Ace-5 now on the river is interesting. Think I like using this as a bluff raise on the river. He shouldn't. We can have a lot of jack x here. Here's a jack x too. Okay, he goes for small size. We will have quite a lot of jack x ourselves. He is not bluffing with an ace that much, and never really with a 5. So we have a nice unblocker there. Hey Mitzel, how you doing, man? Hope you having a nice evening. So gonna actually check this maybe later, but I think ace-5 is a pretty nice bluff raising combo there in the river. This guy also seems quite raggish, so maybe my read there was wrong. Gonna remove the label, but still just proceed with the call. Good flop for me, and this should hit me quite a bit better there. The jack 8-6, blindy blind. Yeah, seems like he's maybe even a reg. So we'll go for a check call here at pocket nines. Raising jack x, maybe some 6-7 here if I want to go mergy, but never really this end. And here I believe I should have some donks. And I think nines fits nicely in there. Although check calling nines is fine too, but gonna be hard for him to have enough bluffs. It's a bit annoying if we get raised, but I don't expect to get raised too much. And river, I will be just checking, hoping he checks back. And we lose to tens. It's a bit unfortunate, but yeah, not much we can do there. Table 1, I decide to barrel on the 8. And I think on this river we'll continue bluffing. The question is what size do we go on? I think 150 is a nice sizing there. Although this hand should probably be a give up in theory. Yeah, I'll actually give this up. This is close. This is close. 8-6. Okay. Happy that we found the give up. Close one. I think the ace highs are just supposed to give up and bluff all my like 10-9, Jack 10 hands that I have instead of this one. Like, but maybe ace 5 is low enough so that I could still bluff this, but I think the give up is fine. Although there's a decent amount. Well, depends on the guy, right? Some people like to get sticky when they have like a pair plus a flush blocker, although, oh, let me switch there. Like they might here call 8-7 here or 6-5 here, thinking that they block the straight, which is obviously not my only value range. So I guess some guys, like the blocker type of guys, we have to be a bit careful here. But I think it's fine otherwise to bluff here against, or maybe even over bluff against some guys here. Icing here a bit loose, but this guy is a big recreational, so I don't mind it. Let's see, this table we have a maybe fish, and then here we have a definite fish, a decent regular who actually normally plays higher, and then some whatever guys. And here we have this guy where we're still not sure if he's a recreational or not. He opens 3x, but that's about it. So I'll keep an eye, maybe switch one or two of these tables. Here we have definite recreational, so table 2, that's good. 6-5, a bit of a loose open, but I think this guy is a recreational, and then on this flop I will go for the small c-bet even with a hand this week. Just really good board for my range. Quite easy to overfold, although my hand is like the worst one. And for some reason they got it in here with 100 bigs, so I will have a look at that. Alright, this guy just ships it in with kings, and the other guy calls off. Let me zoom out because we have some more hands to play now. Calling here and calling here. Flopping top pair in a 3-bet pot here against the guy that check raised earlier with queens on this board. All like in a similar situation. So don't mind betting, don't mind checking, but I think I'll check this one back actually. That's the card we didn't want to see, but he's calling most of his ace highs anyway. And now he goes for the overbet. And I think I'm actually straight up folding. And here the king jack, I think without a heart that's a fold. It's close against 1/3. And yeah, the jack 10, I think I'm folding here. Like snap check on the flop, now snap overbet on the turn. Best case, like he has a combo draw. So I think I'm allowed to fold. I have a lot of ace-x myself. Yeah, definitely not a pure fold in theory, but can't be winning much. Just taking some notes on the previous hand that we saw with the 9s there. Defending the king 8 against the min open, although in theory probably it's king 9, although king 8 might be a bit close. But yeah, this guy is a recreational, so I expect a lot of potential to take away the pot later. Once he checks back. So yeah, I will start to stab this on the turn, although it's obviously never really a stab in theory. And on this run in particular, I will just give up. I mean, we have some showdown, but you're not beating lower pocket pairs. Distributing king 10 there, a bit sizing up because we're a bit deeper. And we chop with king high, that's fine. But I think he's gonna have main ace high, that's not gonna fold. Oh man, crazy all in there. What is going on here? Three-way all in, queens, kings, nines. Okay, this guy is definitely recreational, getting it in there with kings. With nines, sorry. We'll replay that in a second. Let's focus on table 1, where we'll start with a small c-bet. Hoping not to get check raised. A pretty ugly spot there to get if we get check raised here. I'm just taking it down. And with the queens and nines, we flop a set with nines. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Kind of. I still start with a half pot bet here with the nines. Pretty annoying turn on table 2. Probably go check call now. We could also still value bet, like the 7 is annoying, but yeah. Like we're still fine against 10x, right? It's not like he has like pocket 7s, 8-7, that's about it. Queen jack if he flopped us. But he's still betting worse here for value, potentially 8s, potentially 6s. Do we have a jam here? Put a hand like jack 10 in a tough spot. I think we just check call against his king jack, king queen type of hands. Hoping to bow it up, but we don't. But I think we still have to call this river. Against this guy, might be turning like ace 8 into a bluff now. And yeah, for this sizing, we'll call. This is a bit disgusting, but I'm still calling. Sometimes he has 6s here, 8s here for value, so we can't really fold here. He's ace queen. Found the bluff there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Quite happy to not see an all-in size there. Opening king 7. Bit loose, but this guy seems to be on the tighter side. Let's zoom back out. Folding to a 3-bet. So yeah, what the fuck happened in this other hand before? So let's go there. So in this hand, 3-way all in on the flop. So what happened here? This guy 3-bets, this guy 4-bets, this guy calls the 4-bet, and this guy also calls behind. With 9s makes sense at that point. And then they go to flop, small c-bet, raise, and this guy, oh, this guy has nothing left. And calls with 9s, okay. And then this guy obviously also gets it in with queens or whatever he had, and they get it in, queens, kings. Sick hand, sick hand. 3-way all in. All right. Let me know if you have any questions in chat. Also take a note on this guy. What is this guy? Yeah, this is definitely an important note here. Like, oh, sorry, it was on this table, I think. Right here, where we had the pocket 9s. Oh, sorry, let me show it. Right, he didn't go all in here. with a hand that after half pot, check call, bet small, and we call, and he doesn't go all in here. In a spot where he probably should just always go all in. Kind of tells us he's maybe afraid to bluff there, or he has a sizing tell, right? That's going to be really beneficial. But let's switch to this hand here, where I think we'll start off with like a 3E sizing on the flop here. Hoping to take it down right away. Annoying if you bet and get jammed on here, so finger will... this is close. I guess we just have to bet, hope we don't get jammed on. How stupid as this sounds. We take it down, perfect. Like check calling also really sucks, check jamming and calling, getting called by the ace-high flush draw sucks even more, so I think we just have to double barrel and kind of pray. We could go check, but yeah, I think the double barrel is the best line there. Table 2, we will definitely call this deep, such a small sizing. Basically just set mining. This guy's pretty tight, basically in it, but all we do here is trying to hit a set, otherwise we're out of there. If he checks to us once or twice, we could even start bluffing a hand like this one, but now we're just out. So here we have a guy with... I'm gonna open the 10-3 here, bit loose, but I think it's fine. Although this guy, this doesn't seem to be too tight, but we take it down. King 5, I think I just fold. I think that's gonna be a bit too much, and the Jack 9 now is just folding. If the aces, can we get some action with the aces, guys? Nope, unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. But with aces again, against the nit, not the best situation because this gets fold a lot. But hey. Oh. Ace 10, easy open. We get 3-bet by the nit again. We'll just call again. Not done do anything else here, just trying to hit a good hand. Happy for 1-bet, but not for much more, to be honest, against this guy. And also not loving to see him size up, although I think this is his standard sizing. Just gonna call dicey. Don't think this guy's bluffing if he goes for all the money. Don't think this guy's bluffing if he goes for all of it. Gotta be honest, he checks. I think we bet twice. Like he's not gonna bluff us enough. If we check here, so I think I'm just gonna go for 2 bets here. Sure, we lose against ace jack, but we get more money against king queen, kings, ace 5, ace 9, although maybe he doesn't even have those hands. And whenever he raises, we know we can get out of there. He calls. Like, is this guy nitty with ace king and just check calls? No way, right? Like, he's not afraid of anything here with ace king. So yeah, I'm going for another bet of value. Trying to get called by like kings. I don't even want to go big here. Maybe just want to get a crying call here. I guess half for this is good enough. Like there's some misdraws, like kings, king, queen might find the hero call here. I don't think he's like, just because he's nit, I don't think he's over folding. I just don't see how we're beat unless he has a trap. I don't think he can call kings, king, queen here. Queen, jack here. Like, we have some misdraws here. Maybe ace-5 suited, ace-9. Just pray we don't get jammed down here. Well, we have an easy fold, but still it kind of sucks. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. How is this? How can he be so nitty? I mean, I was thinking, like, could this actually be too thin? Like, we lose against ace-jack, but... oh my goodness, this guy's such a nit. Oh, yeah. I have the aces at least. See if we can get some money back. Yeah. Maybe we should have even went for smaller sizing, to be honest, to actually get called by worse, or don't bet at all. Like, this is just ridiculous. This is ridiculous. 9 and 8 BVB could go small, but could go check. I think I don't like starting with a small bet here. Could also go for a check for sure. Just taking it down. Trying to float up 4 tables. But it seems like there's only a heads up table and this guy, well, I also don't want to play heads up, but I'll do to get a table going, otherwise I'll have to mix in 200. Or why not get a table of 500 if this guy's a recreational? I don't mind playing. You dance him, I'll just try to focus a bit more. But I've never seen this guy before, so quite high likelihood. Yeah, he limps blindly blind. Check call and then overbet donks with a bluff. Okay. Interesting guy. Pocket deuces here went check on the flop. I will continue checking and probably just check 4 deuces here. Call in pocket 5s. Goes check quite quickly. Gonna continue checking my 5s here. And deuces just folding. Facing a bet with the 5s, it's interesting whether we want to go for a check raise or a check call here. I think 5-4 is good 3 deuce. Like, I think the pair plus combos are good. I think 5 is could mix in there too, but I'll just go for a check call. What a beautiful river. Still gonna check. I don't think we have enough 5x. He can still bluff his king queen, king jack here type of hands. Maybe some king 6 here that he has himself. And now we obviously go for a check raise. I think I want to go too huge here. His size is down to half, but it's interesting too. Yeah, I think the size is fine. Okay, 80%. Let's be a bit more greedy. Would check raise here something like King 4 here. What does he have? Checking back this flop. Ace King. Interesting. People trying to get tricky today. You're streaming excellent content. Thank you very much, Doyle. I appreciate it. I really do. Thanks a lot for the comment. Not sure. And then snap calling there in the river. Yeah, not too sure what's going on here. Not going to cold 4-bet here. This could be a candidate, but this guy 3-betting him should be quite strong, so I'm not gonna mess with it. King Queen here, just checking on this ace high board. It was not that great of a board for me that I want to range bet anything. And ace jack, I think also that type of hand that just wants to check back. King Queen, I'll just keep checking. But more interestingly, on our 500 NL table, we have ace 5 against an aggressive recreational, which I will be just checking back and then basically calling twice. That's the plan. And probably also checking one more time. Ugly run out. And yeah, we just have to call now, although I'm not loving it. But a lot of his flush draws would bet earlier. He can have random air that's bluffing now, which he does. Wonderful. Wonderful. So we'll just keep in mind how loose this guy is. Flats, 4 deuce, small blind, or whatever this was. Interesting spot over here on table 2. He went open raise, multi-way flop. We went for a small c-bet on the flop, check turn, and then I went for an overbet on the river. Could also block bet there in the river. Could also go for a normal size bet. And now for some reason the lobby on, I'm not sure if you can see this, on 100 is dead, but 200 is running. So I guess we're forced to play some 200. Which again, I don't mind. I just thought it's gonna be more stable on the tables are gonna be more stable on 100, and I also am not that good at focusing while I stream. That's why I wanted to just play some 100 and chill, but okay. Now we have a 500 and a 200 NL table open. We'll see. But down here on table 3, we will 3-bet the ace king. Obviously go with it. And we get 4-bet jammed, calling this off against queens. All right, king on the flop, that's good. No spade, and there's a spade. Fuck me. Well, nothing we can do here. Better on 100 than on 500, at least that. Table number 2, I will start with a small c-bet. You can say recreational. What a beautiful turn, guys. What a beautiful turn, guys. Gonna just go large, trying to get the money in. Maybe get some jams from 2 pairs here, which would obviously be amazing. Just get a snap call. He has some jack X of hearts, of course. But he has 2 pairs still. He has ace X of spades here, ace 10, maybe some ace 9 now, ace 6. So we're definitely still jamming, especially when he snap checks the river. Like if he river the flush, he might think about lead jamming on the river, and we could still have some king X here trying to bluff here, and we get called by ace 10. Beautiful. Always a bit scary when he gets snapped, but hey, we take it. We take it. So again, taking note here, snap call is strong, but not it doesn't fold. And the table breaks. That's what I meant with the table's not being too stable. Oh, sorry. We're forwarding here on table 4 with the intention of folding against the jam. And we have interesting board now. Gonna just play my hand. It's such a unique spot that I'm not too worried about getting exploited. And just gonna start with a check on this board to see what he does. Goes check, check. We're gonna check call again on the turn. Could also block bet to get some thin value. But I don't mind keeping the pot small and just going for a check call now again. Do I ever want to raise here? Kind of turn my hand into a bluff. I don't think so. And check and we win. It's just a spot where I don't think he's gonna try to bluff me much this deep. Yeah, he gives up with ace king. And rather of calling. So this is actually an interesting hand. So let's quickly talk about this one. Table 6, sorry, there we are. So this hand is pretty close pre-flop, between calling and forbidding. Also fold is not that far off on such a board. But I think forbidding is quite nice this deep. I don't think he's gonna jam enough ace kings, for example. He's gonna play quite badly post flop in the forbid pot, so I decided to forbid. And we also fold out hands like king queen offsuit, ace jack offsuit, maybe king jack suited that are doing quite well against us. So I decided to forbid. He calls, and post flop I'm basically just trying to play my hand, knowing that most players will be a bit too afraid to go for big bluffs here. They will be playing a bit to face up. So when I check, he checks back. I don't expect him to have too many strong hands now at this point. Could still have queens that is a bit afraid. Maybe a hand like a jack. Turn again. I could block bet myself, but I think just checking, seeing what he does. He goes for small bet. We are sure he can have king jack. We just lose. We just get the pot also call. He's still bluffing sometimes. And then if he goes all in here on the river, I don't think he's bluffing enough. It's his king queens or ace queens or whatever. So then I would just happily fold if he jams, but he does check back and has ace king. Turn bet is a bit whatever, I guess it's fine, but yeah. I think the advantage, if I play this passive, right, if you imagine the other way around, and I call the tree, but he bets the flop, he barrels the turn. I kind of forced to call, but maybe then he's more likely to jam, knowing he has all the overpair advantage. We're in a way tougher spot there, I think, than after we 4-bet, he's the caller. And 4-bet folding here tens, I think, is fine too. So at least that's the idea behind it. Let me know, guys, what do you think, or how would you have played it? Calling definitely is fine too, with tens particularly. So the 200 NL table broke. Let's see if he can chill on some more 100 NL, or if we need to play 200. That looks fine. We get check raised by the nit. It hurts me saying that, but with the nut flush and with the potential to stack a jack, although he could have pocket threes as well here. If he bombs it now, I'm probably folding. Like, he could have jack 10 or pocket three, so I'm drawing that already. And I don't think I get that much value when the jack comes, and I don't want to have a reverse implied situation. And I'm just checking back to realize my equity. I'm beating his bluffs. He went large on the flop, so he either has a jack or nothing. Sure, he could have sometimes have a 10, but I definitely don't want to get check raised again. I just want to realize my equity here. And just gonna check this back. I think he could, well, not very unlikely now that he has a jack, but don't see too much fold equity that I have here. Like, against what type of hands? Yeah, here's a king jack still. So yeah. But more interesting on the 500 net table, we ISO'd and we get this against an aggressive recreational. Probably just gonna check this back, turn back, and then call it river, to be honest. To pretty much any sizing here when he bets. And if he checks, we go for value. Yeah, even a pot size bet. We knew he's gonna be aggressive. We're not planning to fold here after we check back. Also, we have a pretty good bluff catch. You could have ace 10, ace jack type of hands, or random air. And we lose against queen 5, which is a bit unfortunate. Interesting bet by him with ace king. Guess he was value betting. Yeah. I guess kind of value betting, but like kind of just trying to make our bluffs fold, I guess. Yeah, I don't mind if he bets flop enter like this. Yeah, it's okay, I guess it's okay. He's bet there. And unfortunately here we ran into queen 5, that just rivered it. But not gonna play this hand much differently. We could double barrel the turn, sure, but our hand is not going for 3 streets anyway, so I don't mind checking back and giving him a chance to bluff, which is what we did here. And yeah, nothing else to be said there. I mean, he can still bet king 10, king jack for value here himself. I would also call with any queen here, so we have another hand here. If this guy cold calls, I was about to say we call, and we need a deuce, guys. We need a deuce. We're just again in here for the set mine with this guy with huge potential. Interesting board, definitely better for me. But with this guy behind, I think I just check. Like, it's also good for him. And don't think this guy's gonna bluff multi-way on this board, so we have the chance anyway later to potentially steal the board, or like kind of get something out of this here. It's a bit annoying if he bombs it now because we have to fold, but if he checks, I think we can go for block bet, get this guy out of the pot, hoping this guy calls with like ace 10, and then we get to the river. Yeah, so now I can go for a small bet, hopefully get this guy to fold, and then this guy just also to fold or just to call, and then we can go, we can let it go check on the river. This guy can still check a lot of strong hands for sure with this guy in the pot, but he's also gonna have a lot of ace king. ace queen. He can't really do anything about this bet here. I'm gonna use this bet with all my strong hands as well because I want to induce from this guy potentially as well. And perfect, we do take it down. Great there with deuces, calling 3-bet and seeing this flop. It's not what I expect here, but yeah, we take it. All right, 9-3 suited, just gonna be a fold even versus a smaller open. New follow, Webben JI is now following. Thank you very much for the follow, mate. Hope you like it. Hope you enjoy the stream. If you have any, if you're curious about any plays or you would have played something differently, feel free to share in the chat. Or if you're not sure why I did certain things, more than happy to discuss hands with you guys. Oh, sorry, I missed the YouTube chat. Bro, what's your win rate in these games? Is it PokerStars Italy? So shuffle info, yes, this is PokerStars Italy. And what's my win rate? Good question. I would actually need to check. I haven't checked in a while what my win rate is, but yeah, I would, like last time I checked, it's probably like 3 bigs or something, 3-4 big blinds, depends a bit if it's 100, 200 or 500. I don't have almost no sample on 500, and also on 200 I don't have that big of a sample. Pocket fours, I'll just fold here. Table 2, we flop a flush against what I guess is a recreational. Flattening in the small blind, playing a lot of hands. Gonna start with a small bet. Take it down. Here we 3-bet mult and got called by this guy behind. Really interesting. Gonna still go for small c. I could also check, but I don't mind going for small c bet here. Folding out some better duos, yeah. Unfortunately, no duos, but somehow we managed to take the bot down anyway. Really happy to get the button out. And this guy also has just a lot of auto folds, and if he raises, we're not too worried with this hand. I'm saying that and I don't want to fold. But I think fold is just the best option when we get check raised here. Yeah. It's just doesn't have many bluffs here on such a board. This doesn't have a lot of bluffs. Table 2, we call a 3-bet. Tight positions, going for small step. Now, if he raises us, we can just fold this hand. It's not great, but again, I don't think he's going to have enough bluff raises. And he calls. Interesting. Why do we want to check? I think now you got any naughty thoughts on that. But let's switch over here. More interesting. 3-bet pot. This guy cold calls from the big blind. We are just trying. What's the best plan of action there? I think I'm still gonna go with half pot. I think he can still raise, obviously. And yeah, I think with kings we're just going for 3 streets of value there. 10-9 gets there, 8-7 gets there, but he's gonna have queens, he's gonna have jack-x hands. We just have to go for all the money there, and unfortunately just a fold. And here with the pocket with 8 hands, we check back the turn. Unfortunately, river came in ace, he bet large. Yeah, don't see any bluffs after he check called there on the flop. So all we had to do was just fold it there. Basically with ace we're stabbing once, trying to check it down. You're getting naughty thoughts on that 9-8-7. Yes, I had, but I think checking is the better play to let the guy check behind and kind of made the play that we did instead of leading out. If I were heads up, I think I would just lead out right away. Starting with a c-bet, although not super convinced against this guy on this board with this particular hand. Don't mind, I was just checking back, but it worked, so hey. Oh, you double follow alerts now. Okay, that's good to know. We're gonna start with a with a check here. Could also c-bet, gives me a bit more information on what he has, and once he checks back, I think I will go for an overbet. Or we could also go for a small bet and continue barreling on the river. He called ace on the river. Gonna still fire, but I think, yeah, I think half pot again should do the job here. And he has ace 5, well, that's never folding. Table 1 we ISO'd and we went now for a small c-bet. We're gonna see a bullshit raise here in a second, but I don't think I'm gonna do anything with this hand. I mean, who tanks so long to raise anything on this flop here? Yeah, I was about to say, if it, like, take it down, happy days. Table 3, we could go for check back, could go for c-bet. Either option is fine. I'll just go for the c-bet. And take it down. Zoom out. Not much going on right now. But we have the kings on table 3, so hopefully something going on there. So sorry if I missed any of the other comments on YouTube, but thanks everybody for joining. Let's focus on the pocket kings, blinded blind. Obviously gonna raise it up against a standard regular. Against a 4-bet, I will just ship it in. Come on, find the 4-bet mid. Your checks are good, you got a 4-bet and blind be blind. Nope, just a fold. Boo, boring. Boo, boo, boo. Big pot there. Top pair with nut flush draw against bottom set. The classic cooler. Guess it's a 3-bet pot. Yeah, 3-bet pot, flops the set. Bet gets raised, got a call on the turn. Greedy jam, but I guess it makes sense on this this run out. And then yeah, king jack obviously with the redraw has to call. Double like no doubt it like going well I think. Can't complain. Got a couple of donations right away at the beginning. Now it's cooled down a little bit. Here we call it 3-bet. Here we face a raise after c-bet. We could have definitely checked here. And honestly, with this stack, I'm just falling on the flop right away. This is really close here on the flop. But I think it's just a call. Although I'm not 100% sure on table 3. Like his sizing is like something between 1/3 and half pot. And now he checks. Gonna go for a bet. A fairly quick call. And I think I'm gonna give up this river. And bluff my pocket pairs with 1 heart. I really don't want to block queens. We'll bluff jack 10 here. 5, 6s, 7s with a heart here. I think this one is actually a give up on the river. Also he called somewhat quickly on turn. I think a king would maybe tank a little bit longer. Here's ace king. Happy to have found a give up there. Is it fine to check with ace king there? Sure. seems fine. And my hand probably can even check back turn sometimes, but I think betting turn to then give up river is fine. Unless the heart comes, then I think I should just always be all in. Here, to be honest, let me see, what was his size again on the flop? Sorry. So here he went 9.5 into 23. So what's that like? I guess like 30 something percent, a bit larger. Then that. So think it's like it's 25%. It's definitely a call against 30. So I guess it's just a call with the back doors. It's close though for sure. And then on the turn we can check back or we can bluff. I think we start bluffing is fine. And yeah, river, as I said, I don't want to block queens. I want to have a heart in my hand, I think, to bluff here, like the low pocket pairs. I think I'm just going to make better bluffs there. So yeah, I think giving this one up is fine. And also his fairly quick turn call makes it less likely he has a hand like king jack of clubs, more likely he has a hand like ace queen of clubs or something in that direction. Or like a trap, like this case, he had ace king. Alright, alright. Seems like we're getting another multi-way pot here. Could squeeze here, but I think I want to have king jack or king queen and king 10. I'm just gonna call. And we're not gonna do much on this board. Just gonna check his. And facing a small CV without the club, we just fold. Three betting the ace four suited here, blindy blind. And taking it down. Right. 10-3. Don't think we do anything. If this guy limps, we could consider over limping. And blindy blind is just a fold. 6-3 suited with two recreationals. I'm actually gonna open. King 7 also just a fold. Standard open with the Jack 9 offsuit, an easy fold against a 3-bet. So unfortunately he already lost another 100 big blinds, this guy. Didn't like played aggressive at the beginning, but doesn't play that aggressive anymore. So gonna remove this opening 3x here with the fish. The fish in the big blind. Just making it less likely 3-bet, growing the pot in position. Pocket threes will be opening with two fishes in the blind, even without. But yeah, and I only do this increased open raise size from the button. Otherwise I lose too much when I get 3-bet. Will defend here, blindy blind on 500 NL. Decent looking flop. Gonna call a c-bet. I don't think I do too much raising on this board. And then it's gonna be more with better flush draws. I think this one is just fairly easy call. Call again on a turn if he bets. Do we ever raise this now? I think now it gets a lot more interesting to raise because you can fold out some hands like king queen here. King 10, 10, 9 potentially even. It's a bit annoying if you get jammed on, but I don't think it's happening too much here. So I'm actually going for a raise here, facing a barrel. Hoping obviously just calls. If he jams, it's disgusting, but he's never gonna have a 3-bet bluff jam here, I don't think. We take it down. Wonderful. Wonderful stuff here. So he's just gonna have a lot of bluffs that he's folding out, and even if he bets like a hand like ace 10 here, even ace queen, right? Like we're raising 2-pair plus here, so he's not gonna be that happy. And yeah, he also didn't go for an overbet on a turn where he could have went for an overbet, which again makes me a bit happier to raise this. So again, a recap: blindly blind. He open raises, goes for small c-bet, seems all standard and fine. And then on the turn he goes for like 80% or whatever this is, with an open ender. Like it's, if we want to have some raises, we could also raise hands like so we would have just another spot, table 4 here, where we have an open-ended straight draw, some implied odds, but also some reversed implied odds on the clubs, and he raises like he never really has a bluff here. So he's like, yeah, I guess we just fold and call with a flush draw. So back to this hand. So the idea here is that if he's a lot of hands like king 10 here, 10 9 here, queen 10, queen 9, that double barrel that can potentially bluff me on the river if I just call, while if I raise I make them fold, as well as a hand like ace 10, ace queen is not loving it, ace 9 is not loving it. And obviously I still have a lot of outs. The only issue obviously with raising a hand like this one is getting jammed on, which is kind of a disaster, but also again, like, I'm so polarized here, so like, is he really gonna jam ace king here, ace queen here? I don't think so. Sure, if he jams he has ace jack or pocket jacks here, I guess I can just fold. Yeah, I don't want to do the math on this one now, but the point is like he's never really bluffing, and he's never really finding the bluff raises, so I think it is just fine. But so yeah, that's the point behind the reason behind the raise. We have another hand here, 3-betting. Eights, close, could also fold. But hey, why not go for it? Because we can get 4-bet obviously, which sucks. And here it's close. He's choosing a bit of a larger sizing. I don't mind just folding in these tight positions here. Opening another hand, king 7 suited. Around the bottom. See, still trying to get involved with this kind of small blind here. Seems to be fairly big recreational. And we get 3-bet again. Really sucks, but hey, we have to fold. Not much we can do. Not much we can do. Ace 4 off now, hoping it folds to the button and we can play a single raise pot against the button. Otherwise, we'll just be out of there. Take down the blinds, don't mind it. Take that. Anyone else playing tonight, or already played? How did your guys' session go? Let me know, let me know. Not much going on at the moment. We have ace jack. We'll definitely, well, Against under the gun you might fold, but against any other position we'll 3-bet. So let's zoom in here. 3-bet pot. Hopefully we don't get 4-bet again. Just take it down, and here we flop top set on table 2. We start with a c-bet. This board I don't think he's gonna stab enough if we check to him, given his multi-way. And yeah, we're just gonna put in the money ourselves now. On this board he can have queen x of clubs, which will always call on the turn. Ken can have king x himself, although it's obviously less likely when I have 2 in my hand. But don't think I'm gonna do much slow playing here. With top set, and unfortunately just a fold. More interesting here, we get it heads up one more time against the fish here. Starting with a small c-bet. You get a call. That is interesting because this one might be one of the turns where I prefer double barreling over checking back, just because there's so many hands that will always draw. Obviously hate my life if I get raised here, but I think I will just go for another bet, hoping to just see a call. If I get raised here, I don't think he's gonna have enough. And now checking back the river. King, queen, ace, queen, maybe still betting, but this hand is just gonna be a check back. And we win against ace 10, so happy about that. Table 3 now. We will not go all in, we will just call. Although call would, although jamming actually wouldn't be that big of a mistake with this hand. And we'll call 1 on the flop. Not doing anything else here. Always calling. And we have a potential bluff. We block queens, jacks, but we also block ace, queen, and ace, jacks. So that kind of goes both ways. He double barrels, and we just have a fold. King, queen might still call one more, but all the other gut shots here think are just folding. And we have kings again, and we're heads up again. This time with top set. Multi-way on a monotone board. Interesting. Yeah, we're gonna start with a small bet. Could also check back. We'll check back on the turn. And call the river. Now potentially even raise the river. Kind of wrapping hand like ace, queen. Of course, and thus gusting if you get 3-bet jammed on, but I think I still have a raise here. Trying to get called by like 7-5, 10-7 here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm still thinking whether I want to call this or not. Because for non-all in sizing. Yeah, I think I'll call this ace 10, ace 5 type of hands. Jack 10. Yeah, let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Couple of things there, but it's just a call that I guess we have to make at a frequency. He did choose a non-all-in sizing, not the largest sizing there, right? He knows I'm capped, so it makes a lot of sense for him to go for the back 3-bet. But hey, we don't have time to think about it because on table 1, oh, no, definitely just 20, please. Gonna go for a cold 4-bet, hoping to just take it down against the 5-bet Jaffe if it fold. If he calls, we have to play post flop. Good board, gonna start with a small c-bet. Hoping to take it down. Barreling on diamonds. Yeah, beautiful to just take this down. There's not a lot of turns I can barrel. Ace queen is just gonna fold a lot. So happy to take it down. So let's go back to this hand. We min open, so he's gonna have a lot more offsuit hands here, like the Jack 10 or the Ace 9, Ace 8 hands. He's also gonna call a lot, given that this guy's in the pot, the recreational. I see bet small and flop. Could also already check back flop, but I think that's fine, especially, you know, with the recreational. I just wanna give myself a chance to, you know, potentially boat and then and stack this guy, whatever bullshit there he might have. And then on the turn, I decided to check back. I block a lot of his calling range. I could also go for another bet to probably check back river, but I don't mind it. And then river, he block bets, which, you know, makes sense for a 10, maybe a king, some traps, but he needs to put strong hands into this range for sure. But yeah, I think we definitely have a raise, and then he 3-bets, which is obviously the only thing we didn't want it to see. But we're not going to have too many flushes, right? So we need to find some calls with other hands, and he's going to use hands like 10x with a like ace 10, jack 10, queen 10 potentially, us 3-bet bluffs. And yeah, he needs to put the strong hands in a block bet sizing first, where he might just want to overbet them. Like if he has a flush, I'll go for a check raise. So that's why I, in the end, decided to go for the call. Don't think it's printing or anything. Obviously, facing a 3-bet on the river, but here's a bit of a difference, right? This is 500 NL, like 100 NL. Like I'm out there. I'm out of there. In like 5 seconds, of course. But I think here we just yeah, at least have to think about it and think if our opponent is capable or not. Actually didn't have this as the most aggressive reg, which is why it took me quite a long time. But yeah, now maybe he earns the orange, not just the yellow tag. And yeah, the problem, the main issue that most people will have here is not having enough hands, not having enough flushes in their block betting range. If he 3-bets like a straight, which he definitely can do if he thinks he never check back flushes, it would be an issue. I think you just have to close your eyes and call. Yeah, sure, it's not the best spot. Maybe that's just what you have to do. But we're also gonna have hands like king queen, ace king, king jack with a club here that we check back, which all make, well, not necessary, but also are, you know, reasonable candidates to think about. To go for a bluff catch here, which block value but also block bluff at the same time. So it's kind of can go either way. But yeah, happy to this time pick up the pot. against the Jack 10, which I think is well played. All right. Somehow we've managed to double our stack there. Don't want to play 200 and 200 big blinds pot against either of these two guys. I mean, they're both pretty good. So we'll see how much longer this guy sticks around. But yeah, also probably gonna end the stream somewhat soon and go to bed. But yeah, we have another hand here, 3-bet pot in position. Gonna fold to a 4-bet. See a call. These guys are one of these fucked up spots, but just gonna go for a small range bet here in position. A lot of the flushes are blocked by the board and by my hand, so I'm not too worried about flushes in this particular hand. Would I go for 3 streets of value? On a super dry run out, maybe, probably still not. But yeah, I'm less worried about losing the hand here. In general, bet the high flushes and check back the low ones. Yeah, exactly. Definitely you have to check back. You have to check back some of the flushes there too. Right? You know, whether maybe he thinks I don't, and then he might be quite aggressive in a spot like this one, 3-betting me, which he did. So queen 9, bit of a wider one, but yeah, I don't mind it. We get 4-bet, get punished immediately and fold. And then on table 4, we'll be calling a 4-bet with ace jack. Spicy board, interesting one. We see a c-bet with a fairly comfortable call. Not going to play any raises here. Interesting flush comes in. We block the backdoor draws. This is not the greatest to start bluffing now on the turn, but it's definitely a good turn for me. We have king jack here, which is rather hand that I check back. Gonna just go ahead and bet this. And this is a really, really interesting river. Should probably have some dong jams there in river, but he didn't. He didn't even consider it. Don't get snapped. Don't get snapped. Like, it's hard for me to have a lot of bluffs because I check back my king jack. So I'm gonna jam my ace jack. But this might be a turn where he's supposed to dong jam on the river. Is he considering calling it a non-hard hand? Please don't. I mean, I will have ace queen offsuit here, jacks here. Obviously just the nuts as well. Come on, is he gonna find a hero here with the ace queen or ace is no heart? Tough for me to have a lot of bluffs there. Tough, tough, tough. But apparently he's gonna find the bluff. He's gonna find the hero if he tanks like this. Come on, guys. Find the fold. Do it. Don't do it. No. Get in. Let's get in. Oh, yeah, yeah. Gives me the tank to the very last second. What a guy. What a guy, what a guy. Gets my adrenaline pumping there. Yeah, I'm gonna check this in the tower. Really curious. I mean, quite a unique run out there. Curious to know what you guys think. So let me replay quickly if anyone who missed it. 4-bet pot. He goes for small c bet. I guess he's betting range. This board not too bad for me. I'm gonna have queens, gonna have tens, gonna have ace queen suited and offsuit here. He bets, turn he checks. Flush also definitely better for me. I'm gonna have all the suited hands while he has a lot of offsuit hands, which is important, right? He has ace jack offsuit, ace king offsuit, and then, but a lot of his ace king, ace jack offsuit with one heart might continue betting. And he's gonna have a lot of like aces, kings, no heart here. So I decided to go for another for bet there. And then on the river, 40 flush comes. So this card might actually be better for him because he can have those, you know, like more of these offset hands than I have. But he snap checked. I felt less worried. And yeah, it's tough where our bluffs come from. But I think he should also have some dong jams himself. Which is obviously not great for me. If he misses those, right? When we jam in a range into a range that is too strong. But yeah, like we kind of have to bluff our ace jacks here, right? Because that's kind of the only bluff that we have. King jack is checking back a lot on the turn to not get jammed and to realize the equity. And then if we ever bet like a 10x on the turn, we might jam those. But I think this hand just kind of has to close your eyes and jam. On the turn, it's maybe one of the combos that checks back a bit more, just because, you know, he's gonna have like he's gonna have backdoor space that always check forward on the turn. So I'd rather bluff like diamonds or collapse on the turn. But hey, I think it's a 4-bet pot. We can't pick too many hands. We're also gonna have like 9s, 8s, 7s that call the flop even without a heart, I believe. Some of them, maybe some ace 5, but those don't really bet the turn. So it's a tricky spot. Tricky spot there. But we got the last second fold. Nothing really happening as in the other hand. So otherwise I would have switched. Tanked till the very last second. I guess like aces no heart or whatever. Like ace queen no heart. Maybe even queens. Who knows? Yeah, interesting spot there. But I guess if I don't bluff this, I don't bluff anything. But we'll check this later. Table 2 will defend. Oh no, we'll not defend. Let's zoom out now. We'll play a couple more orbits and then call it a stream. Maybe have a look at some of these hands. Let me know, guys, if you want to have a look at some of these hands. I think there were some interesting ones in there. Let me also see what my PC is saying. Yeah, I think it's also good for my CPU. Temperature seems to be consistently quite high. Even though the fans and everything are turned up, but I guess it's just not managing too well. So yeah, we'll hit sit on next book band and have a look at these hands. Also the ones at 500. I think there were some interesting hands in there. So if you guys are interested, stick around for that. Otherwise, don't blame you if you leave. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It was a fun stream. I haven't streamed in a while, so yeah, happy to be back. As I said, it's a bit tough for me to stream 200, 500 because you have to check a lot for tables and yeah, always open new tables, you know, find tables people are leaving, play a lot of heads up, three-handed, and that's just quite difficult on stream, while on 100 NL it's usually a bit more stable, which is why I picked that. Yeah, the recreational 500 NL seems to just have knitted up here, so we're not missing out on that much EV. Anyway, we'll also get the results up because I know you guys like the results, although yeah, I played a session earlier which didn't go too well, so we have to keep that in mind. Gonna skip the king 6 there last hand, but we'll open the 5-4. We'll open the 5-4. And we get punished. We're folding. I mean, this guy 3-bets when this guy's so short. He's gonna have a stronger range. And 2 more tables left. Let me open GTO Wizard on the side so we can have a look at some of the hands. Well, let's wait until we finish those 2 tables to do it properly. First time chat, welcome back, welcome in. Feel free to leave a follow if you haven't done so to get notified next time we go live. I'm about to end the stream. We're just gonna look at some of the most interesting hands. This 4-bet pot and the other hands at 500 NL. The pocket kings hand was definitely an interesting one, although it was multi-way, but I think we can just sim it as if it were heads up. And yeah, we have 1 table left, and then we'll look at some of the hands. Oh, bravissimo, Rufy. Shout out to my girlfriend in the chat. Woohoo! Also first time chat, she has to follow. Yeah, so couple last hands and then we'll have a look at some of the hands that we played today. Let me get them up in the replayer in the meantime. Wow, guy getting sacked on with a nut straight against a flush draw. Poor guy. Um, 7-6 last hand. Come on, let's play it. And we just take it on. Alright, let's close this here and let's go to, I guess we go to the big screen. Let's close Jurgen and let's go to GTO Wizard and have a look at some of these hands. So let's start with the 4-bet pot hand, where I guess we can do it like this. View hand details, copy this and then paste it in here, and let's see if he punted or not. Let's see if he punted or not. Doesn't exist, so I guess it's not that good. We 3-bet, I got 4-bet easy call, so far so good. Face it bet, always calling, and my guess is that it's a check back on the turn. Yeah, oh, it's a smaller side thing. What did I go? Oh, I went 2E and it's 25. Okay. So let's have a look at if we go 25. Yeah, makes sense. I think it's a brick if we go 2E, but on the flush, I think we should actually go small. So that was my mistake. If we go small, we can bet or check. Doesn't seem to matter too much that we have the spades in our hand. I said king jack, checking back a bit more. I think that makes sense too. King 10 can value bet and then maybe bluff on these type of runnouts. And we don't call 9s or 8s without a heart, so those would be our value jams on the river. We go for a bet. He's jamming aces, kings mainly, so I guess he's gonna have like ace, queen, king, queen if he calls there. Ace king should also jam a lot with a heart, where I think, yeah, it's probably more likely to barrel, but don't think he's gonna have ace king a lot. And then the river was like some sort of heart. I don't think it matters really which heart it was. Was a deuce. Anyway, okay, so yeah, he's supposed to have front jams, which is the kind of part I didn't like, right? Like if he has jacks with a heart, he's just supposed to jam it in himself. What happened in the earlier session? I don't know. I never checked my results, but yeah, I think I just lost 3 pints, maybe 4. Like just pretty standard spots for the most part. Like two all-in pre-flops and 1 like top pair versus overpair and 3-bet pot. So yeah, he's supposed to have front jams, which obviously makes us bluff less, and ace jack is already an indifferent bluff. So if we run this with GTO Wizard, we're probably he goes for small, call, turns to 7. He checks, we bet small, which also with GTO Wizard AI is fine. But then on the deuce, he's supposed to have front jams because he has more of these jacks, a bit less here than in the general sim. In practice, I also don't think he's kind of aces or kings with a heart too much. But if we remove those, yeah, we're still jamming here with this solution. Interesting. It is kind of one of our only bluffs. And yeah, we never have jacks in the sim. And we're jamming most of our flushes. 10-9 flush actually checking back, which I think I'll probably still go for it, but yeah. And then he has to make quite a lot of calls with, you know, just top pair without a heart. So I think it's a spot where he's probably overfolding it a little bit. So I don't mind it. Also, where I'm not sure he's checking enough flushes on the turn there. So yeah, happy that we went for it and got the tank fold. So we want to see the king's hand. Where's the king's hand? That's the next one I want to look at. Okay, never mind. Give me a second, guys. Where is the pocket king's hand? Yeah, I mean, if you were wondering, Peter, what happened in the session earlier, just stuff like this on 500 NL. Bet, raise, get it in, ace, jack, jack on the river. Nice. So yeah, that's how the earlier session went. Where you have our pocket kings. Pocket kings. Oh, there it is, perfect. So this is a 3-way spot, so we'll have to sim it heads up. C-bet, call, check, check, turn, block bet, raise, 3-bet. Yikes. We wanted to know if our call was good. He showed up with the jack 10. Also, if his 3-bet bluff is good, but I think his 3-bet bluff, his play is definitely good. King 7-5. Now, it is a bit different here in terms that, yeah, like it was multi-way, but I don't think it changes too much his continuing range. Like he's still gonna call hands with 1 club in them. We're still gonna see whether at a really high frequency here. It's definitely with kings. Maybe our range is gonna be a little bit stronger. Maybe he folds a couple of hands like jack 5 here, but I don't think it should change the solution too much. So he calls. Interesting also about the turn. Yeah, we do check back. We'd rather bet 7s. Obviously, I'm blocking the top pair that can call, and we have to check back some flushes. Not that many though, and it's pretty random, to be honest. Like, why is jack 10 checking and jack 9 betting? Don't ask me. I don't think it matters too much. It just matters that you check back a flush once in a while, and then sets can go either way. We check, but it's important that he probably thinks we always kept, right? Oh, sorry. Didn't want to trigger the hotkey. Let's say he has like a block and the pot bet sizing, which in my eyes makes a lot of sense. Block bet size makes a lot of sense. Jack 10 is actually quite thin, if you think about it. Right, he needs me to call a hand like ace 5 here, pocket 9s here, after I bet multi-way, which, yeah, I think is quite ambitious. I probably, like, if he block bets, I mainly put in my hand like a king 8 here. Whatever king x he can have, and he needs to put, right, some amount of flushes into the block betting range, where most of his range will just be like one pair of hands. So I think we have a quite a mandatory raise. Actually not. Solver thinks we could also just call this, be a nit. Raise 7 always, 5s always if I ever check them back. I like the 50% because that's what I went for. Yeah, actually close. My hand mainly just calling. And the 7s, 5s pure calling, I'm blocking the king X. I guess it makes sense, right? Like he's mainly wrapping a king and he blocks those, so. And yeah, once we do that, Jack 10 always has to trigger bluff. And his sizing is also pretty spot on, 75%. So very, very well played by him. With hands like king X with a club, Jack 10, Queen 10, Ace 10, if you ever block bets those, they have to go for the 3-bet. My hand is a, oh Jesus Christ, my hand is a 4-bet bluff on the river. Oh, sorry guys, I didn't find that. And never fold. Okay, wow. After we raise, we're not really supposed to raise. If you look at our other sets, 10s is calling and 7s and 5s. I guess they're raising larger, so it's not really using this raise size. Yeah, 4-bet bluff, of course, because he's never 3-bet bluffing yes with a king. And I never really folding. That's crazy. See, if he raise larger and he 3-bets, do we still call like 7s and 5s? No, then sets becomes indifferent. And but king X still always a call. So yeah, nice hand. Didn't think it's gonna be like a winning call. I also don't think in practice it will be. Yeah, good that we did found it. That we find it. And yeah, that's it, I think. Let me see if there's any more interesting hands that I played today. Yeah, I don't think there were too many. Let me see that 100 NL. One of the bigger pots that we had there, we had this donation by the guy getting it in with ace 10 and we just hold right at the beginning, and then I think another one here where we just jammed and this guy called off with, I think it's a different guy, right? Luca Mar. And this guy, 2 whales just completely spazzing off. Luckily we hold against Jack 9 there too. With ace king against queens, where unfortunately we lose the flip. With kings where I think I played this earlier this hand. And with 9-7, like it's a smaller size, I think he called. I guess we could look at this one. I went for stab. Could check, could don't hate checking this back. He goes for the min raise. Already knowing like we have to get there right now, so not really winning. He bets the turn, we're just hoping, and we get the Gin River, and he check calls queens, where I think he can fold. Like, what is he beating here? I have no bluffs. I need to turn like king 10 into a bluff here. So let me actually have a look at this one. Open raise, and we go to smaller 3-bets, even smaller than 11. Like here for this one, we have to go to pre-flop ranges and say, let's pick 200L, this one, and go to research, right? Just to show if he goes to 9 big blinds, we open 2.25x. If he goes to 9 big blinds, 9-7 is always a call. Even, wait, I found it here, 100L rig. Well, maybe not. What, 2.5x, 100L, 500L. Okay, yeah. So 500L is a call. At 100L rig, it's I guess a fold. But yeah, I'm used to these ranges. That's why I called. Could be, could still be fine, right? Given that he's probably not playing ideally post flop, as we could see here, or at least I think he could potentially get away. He checks. We step 40%. Yeah, my hand should just be check back these low flush draws. Just really want to realize equity, but 8-7 bets, 7-6 bets, 9-7 checks. So pretty much the same hand there, and he goes for min raise on the flop. Yeah, it's already getting a bit a bit unique, but okay, sure. We call obviously 8 on the turn, where he goes for like a bit larger than half pot, but let's leave it at half pot. We obviously call every flush draw. We didn't have a pair, we had a open ender, but kind of the same. And then river is a jack. He checks, we're all in. We need to bluff here, hand like king jack. We need to bluff king queen high for him to make a profitable call here with queens. I just don't think that's gonna happen. So yeah, his hands just a fold on the river. So yeah, calling with loose, even at 100 and rake, this hand is supposed to lose. I think it's still fine. The king bluff is great. Yeah, the forward bluff is absolutely insane. I didn't even think about it, to be honest. Here with another hand where we see bet, this guy called and then didn't have the balls to go for it. So great for us. Ace queen, 3-bet pot. This was another donation. Check raise. Ships it. He actually picked up some equity with it. 10-8. This was the other guy with it that went all in pre-flop with it against us. And here we see bet small, check call half pot, check call again against half pot. It's against the recreational. Against the regular, I think it would just fold. But again, he chooses this non-null insides. We just saw how, on the other hand, how this could sometimes be a read at their weekend. Also, this line will just be overbluffed from fish. They're gonna have way more, like 7-6 here, 6s here, 5-4 here, maybe even king 10 offsuit or whatever. So for these pots, I'm never folding. This time he just did have the 2 pair. Here we went up against a nit where I knew he's a nit, but I didn't know how nitty he was. And I even sized down the river. But yeah, we got a tank call from ace king. So I think those were the hand sets for the that was a 4-bet pot. And yeah, here this one, the 4-bet. This was actually another interesting one that we can check out. 140, 150 big blinds deep. 4-bet pot, check, check, check call, check, check. Let's see what solver thinks. Probably not that solver approved. But I think in practice this line works quite well. So here we 4-bet pre, which is fine either way. He calls, we check on this flop. Yeah, which definitely makes sense, right? Tens doesn't really want to build a pot. We're definitely not going to range bet this board, so the perfect hand to check. Goes check, check. Turn easy check call. And yeah, seems to be fine. Curious to see how we're supposed to play this spot. So on the flop, gets a bit of larger sizing and checks. So half pot and checks, tens checking, just mixing some checks with ace kings and some overpairs. And he had the sorry, in case I didn't show that, he had the ace king with the ace of spades, which I thought would be a nice hand to at least go bet twice. Yeah, but he checked back, which is fine too. Turn again, we go for large sizing, saying we trapped on the flop, obviously tens. No interest in doing that. I could go block bet exploitatively, but I think it's a bit face up and a bit difficult to play after I block bet and he calls, so I check. And I think he should use a... Well, his play is actually fine here with the ace king. Going for a small bet. Guess folding, getting some value from like ace queen or folding out our air hands, folding out chops, and obviously we're calling with tens, and I guess he could be bluffing on spade rivers, but gives up on this one, so I guess it's fine. He should actually still bluff. Didn't think that in-game that he's supposed to bluff with this hand. But yeah, it kind of just goes to show that in these situations, people will not bluff enough. And I think I also said that on stream, right? Like I'm happily folding on the river if I face a jam here. Because he can definitely have jacks here, queens, kings, aces that for some reason slow play here. And I just don't think he's gonna have enough balls to bluff enough here, simply put. Right? At least most regulars at that 100L, I don't think have that. So I'm more happy than calling a 3-bet and then being the pre-flop caller, where I think it's easier for him to find the bluffs. And he also might overvalue, as he did in this case, the showdown value of ace king. And we want to pot. All right. It's getting sticky, lol. Yeah, I was also surprised with that. Yeah, I think that was the last interesting hand. The rest was not too exciting. This ended a bit of a weird one. We called check flop. He's gonna check back a decent amount here. Turn, I was thinking a hand like 3 deuce, 4-5, 4-3 are better check raise than 5s, just call. And then someone might have some donks here, but I just decided to check. I think he's still gonna value bet his ace king, ace queen, ace 10, ace 4, ace 3, and then